I'm confused. I I don't understand. I want to start off by saying that I'm not very familiar with the fanboys, and this is like the first time I actually got into the world, the nitty gritty of this community and how people react to video games. Usually, before I had this channel, I just went about my business. I end up saying, hey, PlayStation's the way to go. I'm just seeing way more exclusives, left it there. I didn't go into what a lot of other people were saying about it. But now that I made this channel, it will be wrong for me to not at least acknowledge that other people other than myself exist. And I have to say, that was the biggest mistake I've ever made in my entire life. Oh my God. I've been seeing what people have been saying about the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer. Okay. When I saw the news, I was excited. I said, hey, cool. Ghost of Tsushima has multiplayer. Like it didn't really need it, but wow, that's a crazy add-on. I left it at that. Then I started looking at what some of the fanboys had to say about it. And boy, oh boy, people really don't know what they're talking about. So I've been seeing a lot of things where people are saying, finally, PlayStation has multiplayer. I don't know where you've been. Maybe they're new PlayStation fans. I don't get it. But the idea that PlayStation has multiplayer, like, oh my God, PlayStation, they always had multiplayer. Like, in every game I can think of, or their big games, their big titles, they had multiplayer. You think of Bloodborne, Last of Us, Uncharted, like they always bring multiplayer. So this idea that they don't bring multiplayer is ridiculous. And then I started thinking, everyone complained about this company or whatever not having multiplayer. Like, comparing that to what? Like, who has like ultimate great multiplayer? Like, I think of Xbox, and when they came out the gate, yes, they basically, I mean, they didn't, but they basically invented the whole play with your friends, get on the headset. They made it extremely popular, and they helped take that style of gaming off. Like it took off because of Xbox. Like, they really did push it with with Halo, I would say. And then when you look at PlayStation, you know, they did it with SOCOM, but really I believe Xbox was the ones that really pushed that, that made it more and more popular. And I understand that, but for some reason I think people have this idea in their head that Xbox has been the beacon of hope when it comes to multiplayer, when that is not the case. And I'm not trying to sit here and try to make it a, you know, us versus them mentality. Used to be a huge Xbox fan, but seeing all these fanboys come out and start saying, finally, we got multiplayer for PlayStation, maybe they just weren't paying attention. I'm very confused by this. I don't really understand where people are coming from with this, because from my experience, PlayStation has always had multiplayer. I think that people see the single player games and they change the narrative that PlayStation only makes single player games. But even those single player games have multiplayer for the most part, most of the time. And not only that, what is gaming to people? Like, we have games for multiplayer. We have plenty of them. We have the games that do it great, like Call of Duty. I hate 2K, but I play it. Shoot, I mean, it's fun to play with your friends. You have 2K, that's really for multiplayer. It's not there for a single player experience, not really. Where I'm just thinking of like games where multiplayer comes first. We have plenty of that. Okay, one of the reasons people were excited for Halo is it's gonna be multiplayer. Like, I just don't understand where people are coming from, where they're saying that PlayStation needs to completely focus on multiplayer, when in my experience, maybe I feel like I'm getting old, because in my experience, video games, multiplayer is always the icing on the cake for me. Multiplayer has never been something that I will just straight up. Now, it depends on what it is, but for the most part, if I'm looking at exclusives, I'm not looking at exclusives for multiplayer. I'm not paying $60, $60+ on a game just for multiplayer. I want that great experience, that story, a story that gets me immersed in it, that sometimes change my thinking process, moves me emotionally. Like, that's what I go into gaming for, not to sit here and look for a multiplayer. If it gets a multiplayer, cool. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But this idea that PlayStation needs to focus on multiplayer is just kind of stupid to me. I just don't get it. This isn't necessarily a rant or anything. I genuinely just want to understand where people are coming from. But just hearing about the Ghost of Tsushima news is amazing. The fact that they're going to have multiplayer, the fact that it looks like it's going to be like this separate story along with it, and it's free. I mean, that's cool. That's cool. But man, there's plenty of games out there for multiplayer. Go play Fall Guys. And there's an example. I mean, it's technically not really. I mean, it's on PC too, but technically an exclusive, Fall Guys. So that's multiplayer. I just don't know. I don't know where people are coming from. This is the first time I really try to pay attention to the community. And yeah, I shouldn't have, because something that I thought was cool and was a good thing turned into PlayStation never has exclusives in comparison, or never has multiplayer. And my question is, in comparison to what? Because the console, as far as I'm concerned, this ain't me fanboying, but as far as I'm concerned, the console that has delivered on every single front this generation was PlayStation. And I got an Xbox and a PlayStation, and I can say confidently, PlayStation is murdering Xbox as far as gaming is concerned. And there's plenty of games out there for multiplayer, third-party games. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just old school. I don't know. But I just wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts on it. Basically, I don't understand what's going on with people. If you guys could leave a comment and let me know what's going on. Anybody that sees this video, if you came and checked out the account or the channel, I really do appreciate it. But yeah, man, tell me what's going on with this, because I don't. Yeah. Deuces.